Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin. I'm the solo founder of LingoCommand. It's a website and app that I built to help people learn languages faster. And until recently, it supported Spanish, French, German, and Japanese. But as of last week, I've made a decision to double down on Japanese. And I realized what way is better than to test if the app really works than to learn Japanese myself. Now, I'm essentially a complete beginner. I know a couple of words here and there from some of the anime that I've watched, but and also a small amount like for the research I did in order to make the app. But I would say it would take someone maybe like at most 5 or 10 hours to catch up to where I am currently. And so this stream is all about starting from nothing and seeing how far I can get with learning Japanese using the app that I built. And so let's just get started. This is my first time streaming, so hopefully this is all set up correctly. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with hiragana. So I'm gonna log in, switch to light mode, and if you're not familiar at all with Japanese, essentially they use a different alphabet or different writing system than English does. So there's no Roman alphabet. And so this is lingocommand.com that we're looking at. And if basically there are three types of writing systems in Japanese. There's hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Now, essentially, hiragana is as it says here, phonetic writing system used for writing Japanese native words. So if we look at this table here, it's like a bunch of like characters, 46 in total. And each character is like well, these are vowels, and then the rest, for the most part, is a consonant and vowel combination. So it's ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so. So that's the first writing system. And then for loan words, like for example, jaquetto, use katakana. So this is for foreign words. They tend to use this writing system. I can go in more detail later, but that's basically the brief overview. And then Japanese basically is a combination of these characters, these ones, and then kanji as well. So kanji, it's non-phonetic. And when you graduate high school, you're supposed to usually know these yojo kanji, daily use kanji, and they're about 2,000. So these are essentially taken from similar to what you'd find in Chinese. And so you have a symbol and it's got, well, different types of meanings. And the goal for me today is to learn hiragana, right? This first writing system. And the reason why I'm starting with the writing system and not vocabulary is because, well, we'll see how it works for me. But I'm of the opinion that if you can at least start with hiragana, like that's the hard part. If you know ohayo gozaimasu, like sure, that's all nice. But the moment you know hiragana, you can start to read a little bit. And I think it will unlock a lot of like the deeper learning that you would want when learning Japanese. So we're going to start with hiragana. So this is indeed an article that I wrote. So I do actually know the theory of this, but it's the actual symbols I don't know. I know maybe like 10. So like I said before, you've got these rows where it's all like starting with the same consonant. So it's ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so. So that's the first page. Here it's going into some more advanced theory that I don't want to go into just yet. And so what I have here is basically a table that enables you to learn this hiragana. So here we have all 46. You can press here to get the pronunciation for how the character is pronounced.
い、う、え、お、
And then the next step would be to like do a quiz to see if I remember these characters. So what I can do is, for example, I can select these first 5 characters, hide the rest, and then I can quiz myself. So I can say, oh, so this was a, i, u, e, o. But I'm cheating a little bit here because obviously I remember the order. So one thing I can do is I can press random ordering here, and now I actually have to study. So this is o, e, a, u, i, and I wouldn't have known them that quickly, but I do actually know the vowels. But what we could do, for example, is I can just try and do all 46, right? So if I don't press random ordering, I'm kind of cheating, right? Because like, let's say if I know that this is ka, then I know the next one is ki, ku, ke, ko. Because if you look at the ordering in these tables, if I go back here, the first one always ends in an A, the next one ends in an I, and then a U, and then an E, and then an O. It sort of follows this A, I, U, E, O pattern. So if I want to quiz myself on all 46 hiragana characters, the best thing I can do is apply this random ordering. So let's just wing it. Let's go for it. Strong. And I might talk slightly less during this part because I got to lock in and try and get a decent grade. So as you can see, I'm really not great at this. I know maybe about half. What am I doing? This is all. Mo. No. Jesus. Okay. So I got 63%. So it's not bad. Why don't we just save this quiz result? And so what I have here is like it's called like the scores. So for the topic basic hiragana, today on the let me close this window 1 second. Today on the 18th of December 2025, I got a 63% average, and so it's nice and all. But now we're gonna try and let's try and get a 70, right? So one thing we could do is we can go here. We can try and like see which ones I'm less familiar with. So I'm just looking at these and I'm like, oh, which ones would I not be confident in answering? Right. So I think this subset of characters, they're not the easiest for me to answer. So I think this is yo, or is it yeah? Yeah, okay. This one. Mo? Actually, you know what I should do? I'm gonna go back to study, get rid of this random ordering, and I'm just gonna study this table. Right? Ki, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so, ta, chi, tsu, ni, nu, ne, no, ha, hi, ho, ma, mi, mu, me, mo, ya, ra, ru, re, ro, wa. I don't think that helped much, but maybe it's just enough to make a start. So I think this is mi, ne, no, it's nu. This is ru. Okay, I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna go again. Mi, nu, ro, mo. No, that's mu. Okay. Mi, no, no. Okay. Mi, nu, ro, mu, shi, sa. Okay. He, ko, wa. Let's try again. Mi, no, jeez. Mi, nu, mi, nu, ro, mu, sa, he, ko, wa, ho. Okay, this is good. So, mi, nu, ro, mu, sa, hi, ko, wa, mo. Let's just move on. Ki, ni. This one. So this is one I get mixed up. So I'm gonna focus on this. So you know how sa, this one, I'll zoom in. Sa and chi, they kind of look the same but like mirrored. So I need a way to remember this. So if it looks like a 5, it's chi. 5 chi. And if it looks opposite of a 5, it's sa. Then this one. So two dashes here and a dash on the left is ho. And actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get rid of all of this. Because this whole versus ha is a bit confusing, right? Because you see here, ho, okay, it has one stick at the top. And then, so ha, one stick at the top, and two has two of them. Ho has two. But then ma and mo, okay, so as you can probably see here, ho and ma look very similar. Because ma is essentially the same as ho, but without the stick on the left. So I think one way that I'm going to remember this is when there's a stick on the left next to this type of symbol, it starts with a H. 1 dash is A, 2 dash is O. And maybe that's actually not bad because 1 stick means you're at the start, 2 means you're later on, and we know A becomes before O in this kind of like pattern. So okay, I'm gonna have to reselect. Oh, it's in memory. Fantastic. So I'm gonna hide unselected words. These were all the ones that I struggled with. This is great. I don't have to reselect them. So I built this stuff myself, so I forgot about that feature, but it remembers what you selected previously. So we're going to apply random ordering. And give this a go. So this is ra, this is no, tsu, re, no, so. Now this is a 5, and a 5 is chi, if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay. This is ru. Now, if there's a stick on the left, we know it's like this ho or ha. So this is not that. So this is ma. This is ma. And this is ne, nu, nu. This is ni. This is ro. Stick on the left means it's a h, ha. There's a ha or a ho. Well, there are two sticks at the top, so it's later on. So you know, these are just silly rules I'm making up to try and remember this. So this is ho. This is mi. This is re. Oh, okay, not re. Mo, shi. Stick on the left. So it's h. There's one, so it's ha. This is ya. Ko. This looks like a 5, but it's the mirrored one, right? So it's not that. So sa. The. Ta. Ki. Mu. Va. Su. Hi. Re. Gosh, what could this be? Nu? Me. Me. Okay. So this is re. This is nu. So actually, it's a bit silly, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this hide unselected characters. And I'm going to say the ones that I got right, I'm going to move on. Hide the unselected characters. So these are the two that I got wrong. So just apply random ordering. And let's do this. So this is me, and this is re. So me, so. I'm not gonna remember these two. These are so hard to remember for some reason. So this is so and this is me. There's a line separating these two parts, right? I think it's called a mnemonic. Yeah, so this word,
Mnemonic.
mnemonic, it's like a device such as a pattern of letters, ideas, or associations that assists in remembering something. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, right? So we've got this line separating these two parts. This line in the middle kind of looks like it's separating these two curves, and separating starts with an S. And so, so, right? So also starts with an S. So that's how I'm going to try and remember this. Line separating it, so. Then this is me, right? So looks a bit mangled. This one I don't have a mnemonic for, so I'm just gonna have to wing it. So I think what I'll do is I'll start from scratch, have a clean slate. So this is all 46 characters. I'm gonna apply random ordering, and I'm gonna try the quiz again, the whole thing. So, mu, o, n, e. There's no stick on the left. That means it's ma, right? Because the other option is ho or ha. There's a line separating it, so it's so. This one kind of looks like the one from before, which was like meh. So I'm gonna guess that this one is like mu. Nah, that's annoying. This is ta. Oh, this is the one from before, which was meh. So it's actually literally the same thing, but when you add this squiggle, it becomes nu. No idea how I'm gonna remember that. I guess I'm just gonna have to practice. Okay, this is yo, ra, na. Stick on the left, two things is ho. He, hi, ru, ni, re, ne. Actually, okay. This thing has a squiggle at the bottom, and so did this one. So I've got a theory. If you see a squiggle, you know it starts with an N. This is vo, pronounced o. Stick on the left first, only one horizontal line. And okay, stick on the left, you know, the wording that I'm using is a bit off. I think these are called strokes, presumably, because you go from left to right. So this is the first stroke. So it's a vertical stroke on the left. So ha and ho both have a vertical stroke on the left. It's the correct wording. This is shu, I, ki, te, yu. Okay, so if you flip this along a vertical line, you'd get something that looks like a 5. And 5 was chi. This wasn't, this was sa. So this one is ra. This is a, ro, mu, no, mo, to, wa, to, shi, ni. This looks like a 5. That was chi, this is ku, and this is se. 96%. Okay, that's a drastic improvement. So let's just save that. And we don't need to go back to this this scoreboard thing. So what I really want to do is I want to see the ones that I got wrong. So squiggle at the bottom means it's an N. Those are the two I got wrong. This one is a nu. This one it's a ne. Oh, and just as a disclaimer, right? So I already knew a little bit of hiragana. It's like the one thing I'd studied before, but I actually know nothing about the next one that we're going to study, which is katakana. So it's you're gonna notice that I'm gonna struggle more once I go out of the beyond the part that I'm like semi-familiar with, which is hiragana. So gonna refresh our quiz by and we're gonna apply random ordering again. So that way there's no pattern. You actually have to know the characters. So there's the first stroke is vertical and it's on the left, which means it's ha or ho, and there are two horizontal strokes here. So this is ho. when you flip that vertically on a vertical line, it looks like a 5, which is chi, but it's not, so it's sa. That doesn't really, that doesn't really make sense, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to pattern recognition, right? I'm trying to spot patterns. Um, the first stroke's on the left, so we know it's har ho. There's only one stroke, horizontal stroke on the right. So this is the first one. And it's ha hi hu he ho. So this is ha. Now here we have this squiggle, which means it starts with an N, right? So this is ne. Please tell me this is ne. Or is this nu? I know it starts with an N. No, because this is ne. So this other one is nu. It's a bit sketch to go and have to look at other characters to get this one, but we'll take it. This is you. That looks like the 5, so it's chi. No vertical stroke on the left, so we know it's ma. Shi. What's this one? Ro. Tsu. Ra. Mo. Te. He. Oh no. That's so annoying. I remember this one, right? That was that whole thing I was doing earlier about the line in the middle, separating the character almost, soul, separating soul. Bit silly, but it works. Please. Okay, 98%. 98%. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Right now it's green. If you get above 90%, it's green. If you get above 80%, it's yellow. And if it's I think those are the thresholds, but you want to aim for at least 90%. But because this is so basic, you gotta get a 100% really. So let's just keep grinding. Let's get that 100. And also, just because I can get 100 now doesn't really mean that I can get 100 anytime, any place, like next week or next month. So, the idea is to stay in shape, to keep improving until it becomes automatic, right? In any case, this is ta, a. Come on, Kevin, lock in. So if it's looks like a 5, then it's a chi, but this is inverted, so it's sa. There's the vertical stroke on the left, and then 2 strokes at the bottom, which means it's a H and an O. Ka, fu, wo. So this is vo, but it's pronounced o. It's a little bit confusing, but that's just the way it is. Um, okay, so we've got this weird squiggle thing at the end. That means it's n. Come on, come on. Yes. That's the 5, so that's chi. La. U. There's the vertical stroke on the left, so it's H, and then there's only one horizontal stroke, so it's ha. Ku. I'm sweating bullets. I really want to get that 100%. I'm so close, please. Oh my god, I can do it. Yes! All right. That's nice. That's nice. Just gonna take a sip of water. Jeez. It's intense. Just move the camera a bit. Here we go. Okay, so let's just do like a quick summary of what we're trying to do here. So, in my opinion, being able to at least read hiragana and katakana is probably a good place to start, right? Because just explain my reasoning, right? Let's say we're talking about days of the week. Japanese, it's not written like this, right? This is romaji. This is like using the European alphabet, the Roman alphabet, to write Japanese. The way that it's actually written is this. Now, when I learn hiragana and katakana, I still won't be able to read this. So this is the vocab section, and you can toggle the way that it's written here, which is, in my opinion, pretty convenient. But this one, like for example, this one here, it's kayo, kayo. So this is you. So it's yo. Now this is that thing there. I think it's called like a dakiten. So this he becomes like a B, if I'm not mistaken. So this is kayobi, 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 right? So we got that right. So sure, it's actually written like this, and what this says, I've got no idea. But I'll kind of want to work my way up, because let's say that we take, I'm just picking some other ones, right? I'm trying to come up with a good example. What if we do clothes? Right. So here, this thing here at the end is she. She. So yes, like basically Japanese like this is this amalgamation of like 3 different writing systems. So this looks like a kanji, and then here we have hiragana. And so by knowing hiragana, I at least can make a start on reading some Japanese. And so you know how I said this was a she, so let's see if that's actually correct. So if I go to romaji, isogashi. There we go. So that's basically what I'm trying to achieve. Now, as you may have noticed, when we're looking at days of the week, we were studying hiragana, but these two dashes at the top, I hadn't seen those before. So because I had to write the theory part for this website, I actually, I remember what this is all about. So if we go to hiragana and we go to the second lesson, let's just study this for a moment. So it says dakuten and handakuten are marks added on top of hiragana to alter pronunciation. So dakuten is these two, I think they're called diacritic marks. These two dashes at the top, it's called dakuten. There are 20 dakuten variations. So for example, ka becomes ga, right? So you add the two marks at the top and this ka symbol becomes ga. Handakuten is this little circle at the top, 5 variations. For example, ha becomes pa. And we've got this table below showing the general pattern. Okay, great. So yeah, ka becomes ga, ki becomes gi, ku becomes gu, ke becomes ge, ko becomes go. So what you'll see is when you add this dakuten mark, anything in this, if we look at this table, right, we'll call this like a family
ko,
of like k. Like these 5 hiragana are sort of clustered by the consonant they start with. So everything starting with a K becomes a G. That's what this column header is basically also saying. And so if I want to remember these 25 hiragana with dakuten and handakuten variations, I think it's sufficient to just remember these, right? K becomes G, S becomes Z, T becomes D, H becomes B, H becomes P. So here at the bottom, we've got this hiragana dakuten handakuten exercise. And this just follows that pattern. So I guess what we could do is firstly, when we apply no random ordering, we can just try this. So this is ga, gi, gu, ge, go. S became Z, right? So this is, and this is, what is this character? This is, if it's a 5, it's chi. If it's inverted, it's sa. So this is za. Now this was she. This is za. Oh, z? No. I'll have to come back to that one. So this is zu, ze. Oh, that was a typo, okay. But anyways, zo. And then this one, T became D. So this is ta, so it's da, di, du, de, do. I'm not even reading these, right? Like I just remember this a, I, u, e, o pattern. So here we've got this dash on the left, one horizontal dash here. So this is ha. H becomes a B, so this is ba, bi, bu, be, bo. And then if it's a circle, H doesn't become B, it becomes a P. So it's pa, bi, bu, be, bo. We'll save this for now. Now, one thing you might have noticed is you're getting your grades for a given topic, but it's not just one grade and that's it. Like you get a separate grade when you do it without random ordering and with. So for example, basic hiragana, I got 100% with random ordering, which is more impressive. the same can't be, and I'm not gonna waste my time doing basic hiragana for like no random ordering. That's too easy. Um, so what you really want to do is you want to get 100% or as high as you can while applying the random ordering. So that's gonna be the challenge for me now, right? So I'm gonna do hiragana with dakuten and handakuten whilst applying random ordering. So now I'm gonna have to like lock in. I'm gonna have to focus. So this is a ha. So it's ba. Oh, I'm nowhere close. What am I doing? Um. Okay. Let's not get phased. This is a ha, so it's a ba. Ku becomes gu. Ho becomes po. Te becomes de. Chi becomes sa. This is not chi. This is sa. Sa becomes za. It's kind of hard. This is he, so this becomes be. Su becomes zu. This is, what is this? Without the handakuten mark, this is ha. So this is pa. Shi becomes, so this one, this is the G. So this looks like a 5, so it's a chi. Chi becomes, this is also, what is this? Okay, let's just keep it moving. So this is bo, pi, bu. And this one's a bit confusing, right? Because I could just open a new tab. It's actually convenient, yeah. So we'll open a new tab and we'll go to Japanese writing systems, like the practice part. When we look at the series H here, this is the only one where it doesn't really follow the pattern, right? Like here it's nani nu ne no. Mami mume mo. Ka kiku ke ko. But this is ha hi. It's not hu he ho. It's fu. I think some people do write hu here for the romanization, but fu I think is the more common one. And so that's what makes this a bit confusing, because we know that H goes to B when you look here. Right? H goes to B when you put the Dokuten mark on top. But then this is the one exception, right? Because it's actually like fu goes to bu. But I guess F and H are pretty close in Japanese, perhaps. So this is ko, right? So this becomes go. He becomes pe when you put the Handakuten mark on top. This line is separating it as sol, 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 sol becomes zol. He becomes b. Ka becomes ga. Zu becomes zu. Oh god. Se becomes ze. Ki becomes gi. Ta becomes da. To becomes do. Pu becomes pu when you add this one. Okay, so we got 84%. Got an 84% when I did hiragana with dakuten and handakuten. but we can do better. We can do better. We can get 100. So this she becomes a G. Fine. Now this is the part that's confusing, right? Because it's if I go here to writing systems and I say basic hiragana, this T series as a whole is confusing, right? Look at ka. It's ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. So it follows the pattern of K's being the first letter, and then it follows this a, I, U, E, O pattern that you find everywhere. But sa is just a bit of a nightmare, right? Because it's sa. It's not si, it's she. So sorry, this one is not even too bad. It's only one exception. It's this one. So it's not ta ti tu te to. It's ta chi tsu te to. So it's chi and tsu are the odd ones out. And so when you add the Dakuten mark on top, chi becomes, well, it's pronounced G,
G,
but its romanization is D. So it's dadi du dedo when you write it, but when you speak it, it's da ji zu de do. And that's extra confusing, right? Because this G has the same sound as this. But I suppose it is what it is. So basically these two are the ones to be worried about.
G,
Especially because they are written when romanized one way, but pronounced another way. So let's just give this another go. So this is ka, it becomes ga. Shu becomes bu. This is a 5 is chi. So this is sa, so this is za. He becomes be. This is ha, so it's ba. To becomes do. Se becomes ze. Ki becomes gi. Ko becomes go. Ha becomes ba when you add the handakuten mark. Tsu, so that's the weird one, right? Because it's ta, chi, tsu, te, to. And ta becomes da. So it's like da, da, di, do, de, do. But, so this is D, pronounced G. Something like this. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I did all that work just to think, obviously this is tsu. So it wouldn't be D, it'd be do, pronounced. You'd think this would be a J as well, but it's a Z now. All right. This she becomes G. Ke becomes ge. Ku becomes gu. Fu becomes pu when you add the handakuten. Po becomes po. Te becomes de. He becomes be. Su becomes zu. Ta becomes da. Ho becomes bo. He becomes pi. So becomes zo. He becomes bi. Sa becomes. Wait, is that even sa? It's a 5, so it's a chi, ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Chi. So this is actually D, pronounced G. All right, we got a 96. It's good improvement. It's pretty good. So, I suppose let's just lock in and try and, let's try and get 100. Ho becomes bo. Ki becomes ki. To becomes to. Te becomes de. He becomes be. Ha. Oh my god. We're just gonna refresh. There's no point. Because I want to get 100 now. So let's reapply random ordering. So it's like the random ordering is new. So I can't cheat. So ka becomes ga. He becomes B. Ho becomes bo. Tsu becomes z. Du pronounced zu. Come on. That G gu pet z. Come on. Okay. Okay. Let's just finish this one. I'm almost there anyways. So when it looks like a 5 as a chi, when you flip it along a vertical axis, this is sa. So this is za. Go. Chi is D pronounced G. This one. What is this? This is ke. So it's ge. So do. Okay, so we don't need to save this. So I already had a 96. So this is a new fresh random ordering. I'll try and get 100 now. Lock in. He becomes 5 is chi. This is mirrored, so it's sa. So it's za. Um. Oh, this is such rage bait. Okay. Let's just try that again. We're gonna reapply random ordering. Try that again. So I just need to focus. There's a stroke on the left, so it's a ha. 2 horizontal strokes here, so it's a ho. But then because of the dakuten, han dakuten mark, ho becomes bo. Ki becomes gi. She becomes ji. Se becomes za. It's a bit too zoomed in. Fu becomes bu. He becomes be. Tsu becomes du, pronounced zu. It's actually zu. So because of this, we know it's a H, this vertical mark here, and then this one. There's one horizontal stroke there. So it's ha. So because of the dakuten mark, it's ba. This is a 5, so it's chi. Chi becomes G, becomes D, pronounced chi. Come on. Go becomes go. I'm close now. I can taste it. I can feel it. Ho, bo, de, he. I got cocky. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Okay, I guess because I'm repeating it so many times now, I'm gonna be pretty decent with this Dakuten on Dakuten stuff. Once I finally get my 100%. Starting off with a hard one. G pronounced D, pronounced G. Ga. Du, pronounced Z. Pe. Fu becomes Fu. Go. Ba. De. Pi. That was close. I almost messed everything up. Um, no, think. Okay, so if it's a 5, it's a chi, but this is kind of the like mirrored version of that. So it's sa. Sa becomes za. Okay. This, it's a H. There's one stick. It's ha, pa. G becomes. No, think. It's normally she, now it's G. Do. So becomes zo. Boot becomes boot. Would you look at that? Beautiful. 25 out of 25, 100%. It's great. It's great. You know what I think would be nice? I might actually stop here for today, but I'll give you a preview for the next study session, right? So I've got a bit of a, I got 100% on basic hiragana for these 46 characters. 100% for this one. So if we look at hiragana, what's left? So I understand these two concepts, the basic 46 characters and how dakuten and handakuten affects the sound. Great. But then there's this one last part called yun. So apparently, if you combine these two, you get a separate sound. I think there are a total of 36. So tomorrow I'm going to read this again, kind of go over that in more detail. Try and get 100% on these 36. And then, so here I've got this reading and listening section, right? But actually, so this is like a little, like a dialogue, a little script in Japanese. And what we can do here is we can listen.
愛子さんは本を読むことが大好きで。
Right? So that's the audio that accompanies like this text. So when you're writing Japanese using the Roman alphabet, by the way, that's called romaji. So this is romaji. And we can split this dialogue into sentences like this, or paragraphs. But the most useful part for us, because we're trying to, I'm trying to understand this hiragana stuff, right? So if I say hiragana and katakana here, so this is what you see on the left column, this is what you see on the right column. And then I put romaji there. As you can probably guess, if I now press, hide right column, it's actually going to force me to like read this. So this is so cool because I've been studying this hiragana stuff, right? This is a, I, ko, a. So in Japanese, you don't actually put spaces between words. And so this is like a little feature that I added. Here you've got hiragana and katakana with spacing between the words, right? So it's not actually how Japanese is written, but it's useful for a complete beginner like me. So here we see Aiko san. So this is Aiko-san. Ha? Hon. This is wo, but it's pronounced also o yomu koto ga daisuki de. But yeah, so basically the point here is, Aiko-san wa hon no yomu koto ga daisuki de. I think this is called like a particle. It's not really something I've studied yet, but this, even though the character is ha, it's actually wa here. This is something to study in the future, right? For now, I'm trying to lock in on romaji. But the cool thing here is what I'm gonna try and do is like get to the point where I can actually just read, right? So if I take this random line here, I know this is to, shi, yo, kan, to, shokan, de, ka, no, ji, yo, kanojo, because I think this is actually the same as this hiragana yun combinations. So this is a G and that's a yo, but when you put them next to each other, you get jo. So I'm gonna go into that more tomorrow and like study it properly. But this is kanojo. So the shokan de kanojo. Right? So what does it mean? I'm not really sure, but at least I can read it, right? And once you can read this, you're one step closer to being able to read this. Right? Because now basically I need to learn, once I know hiragana and katakana, then I need to learn like over 2,000 of these symbols to match the level of like a Japanese high school graduate at least. And then I should be able to read some Japanese. But yeah, one step at a time. So I think the goal for tomorrow or for the next video would be the next live stream would be the goal for the next live stream is to understand this hiragana yun combinations concept and just to practice the act of like reading, right? Just reading hiragana, getting comfortable. And then once that's kind of locked in, perhaps the video after that, I'm gonna start practicing katakana. Well, one other thing that I want to know is, sure, I can read hiragana now, but that doesn't mean I can write them. And when it comes to writing characters, there's actually like a specific order. Look, this thing is a, right? So what you can do on LingoCommand is you can press this character here, and it shows you how to write the character. So apparently in Japanese, it's very important which characters you do first, or which strokes. So this one, left to right, goes first, then this one, then that one. So if you start with this one, the squiggle at the bottom, and then you start here, and then you go there. Apparently, your handwriting kind of looks like a mess, and it's hard to read. And more importantly, also, I don't think it's very efficient, right? Because what you want is you want to write quickly. So I think when you write it like this, it's the fastest way to write the character and then go to the next. In any case, I think part of like learning a language is trying to do it like the natives do. And they seem to insist on, writing the characters in a specific stroke order, as it's called. And so that's what I have here. You see these blue links. You can press basically on any character
そ、
and see the correct way to write
そ、
it. You can press next
た、
to see that.
た、
And so one day in the
り、
future, I think I might practice like being able to write Japanese too. But for now, it's not really in my priority, right? Because I'm not really planning to write Japanese like by using a pen. I think for now, my priority is being able to read, being able to listen, and speak. So I'm gonna hold off on being able to write these characters until perhaps like way later down the road. So I might skip this like stroke order stuff just for now, just because I'm personally more interested in reading, listening, speaking. But yeah, that kind of wraps up today's live stream. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I'm still a bit unfamiliar with like the technology, and so please bear with me. I'm gonna try and improve the quality of the videos, sharpen everything up. But that wraps up today's video, and today's live stream, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for watching.